What's happening, everybody? I'm back. It's me, your resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington, and I am here with my review for the second episode of DC Universe's Doom Patrol. Now, if you have not seen it yet, there will be spoilers, so you might want to go watch the episode, bring your ass back, and we'll talk about it. Now, I know this looks different because, yes, I have black friends, and I brought another black dude with me to talk about comic book shows. And the nigga just happened to be dressed like Killmonger if he had an allergic reaction. But no.
Oh, wow. Disrespectful fucking Compton looking ass fucking knockoff Thanos gonna talk some shit about me with your pink instead of purple, nigga. You didn't have no Barney the Dinosaur shit for yourself?
Nigga, you on my channel, my shit. Just
you ain't gonna tell me I got a goddamn allergic reaction, nigga. When actually I hear allergic to shit.
You look like Killmonger allergic to peanuts. My homie Winston Marshall is here, man.
Good, yo. Winston A. Marshall, the Swaggy Blerd, aka Young Killmonger. What's going on? Glad to be here.
Hey, man, glad for you to do this, man.
Hey,
appreciate you
anytime.
coming through, man. Revolution.
Anytime.
Yeah, before I get into it, he's going to be on this recent episode of the Mad Titan podcast, so make sure you listen to all that interview and everything, man. So you got a chance to check out the episode of Doom Patrol with me. What were your overall thoughts, first and foremost?
So I haven't actually seen the pilot of Doom Patrol yet, so this was like coming in completely fresh, and I gotta say I absolutely love it. Like the atmosphere of the show feels like if you took Scott Pilgrim and the Marvel Netflix shows and they met and had a baby, and then you took God damn it,
Just
man.
keep going.
That's fine.
I'm gonna let him read this shit while he's trying to figure
That's
out.
fine.
Because he's trying to make a joke with it. So we know we were looking for Scott Pilgrim and the Marvel Netflix shows.
And then Teen Titans and Arrested Development met and had a baby, and then those two babies came together and fucked. You would end up with this show. It's like that.
Wait, time out.
Yes.
We waited for all of that.
Don't be disrespectful, dog.
We waited for all that out your
Don't be disrespectful.
I mean, I get the correlation.
Yes.
But you couldn't even remember that?
No, because I forgot. Because I actually was like, it has elements of a lot of different shit, so I was trying to remember how I piece it together. You don't have to do that to me, man. You ain't got to put me out like that.
It's cool. This episode, first of all, the best thing about it was it gives you a complete recap of what the pilot episode was.
Exactly.
So you feel practically caught up without seeing it. Granted, you want to see it, but you feel caught up. Now, for those who watched my previous review, you know I had some issues with it. I was nervous about a lot of things. It was the pilot, and it needed to sell me more on this. Well, the second episode actually did. You know what I'm saying? I'm still iffy on Cyborg. I'm still iffy. Here's the reason. That Mog is 5'8". Cyborg should be like 6'4". Also, why they get this nigga a Chuck E. Cheese toy on the side of his face?
Nah, Nick, Chuck E. Cheese. You said that to me when we were watching it. It felt more like a McDonald's toy that you used to get back in the 90s and
Nigga,
shit.
that felt like something from KB Toys. Dress up as Cyborg.
Bro, that looked like the little handouts they used to give you when you go see the Power Rangers movie in theaters and shit.
That looked like your cheap mama put together some aluminum foil and stapled it. It was like, you better take this shit and be proud of it.
Nigga, that's like when you went to putt-putt golf and you had a quarter and you would go to the little gumball machine and get them little dinky-ass toys and shit.
But they stretched that out and put it on. And then they was like, yo, this is all we're going to do. We're going to give you that mask on the side of your face, and we just going to put some metal gloves on you.
No, not even that. They gave the nigga fingerless gloves.
Fingerless gloves.
Fingerless metal gloves.
For one hand. And we're going to put a full glove. We're going to spray paint on the other hand, and we're going to give you this tracksuit we got from Foreman Mills.
Yo, why he look like a black Italian mafioso with fucking metal fingerless gloves?
You know, like he looked like he should be doing hits, but still getting called a moolie behind his back.
Nigga, he looked like he just left Run DMC, but the run part actually was robot, nigga. That's what he looked like. It was kind of ridiculous. Robot DMC. That's my nigga Cyborg.
And I mean, I say this with all respect. You know, I got to get some jokes in, but I just think the height of Cyborg plays a big issue. I think that people who know of Cyborg, you know, he's a taller dude, a bigger dude. Granted, we got different iterations of Cyborg now that we know of. We got Teen Titans Cyborg. We got Teen Titans Go Cyborg. We got the Justice League animated Cyborg. We got poor Ray Fisher's Cyborg, which I want to give a moment of silence to Ray Fisher. The nigga ain't dead. It's just that he don't have his role.
That's depressing, man. You feel like you sign on for like what you think is gonna be the your version of the MCU,
the catapult of your career,
and then that's
nigga, you tell your bill collectors, fuck y'all, I got your money. And next thing you know, you ain't got nobody's money, nigga. You like, oh.
It's the type of shit that might make you, go and make a false hate crime on yourself, try and pay some bills.
So you get introduced to Vic, and you get introduced to Papa, his daddy, you know what I'm saying, Silas Stone, which we both had an issue with that. Here's the problem. Now, granted, we talked about Ray Fisher, who plays Cyborg in the Justice League movie. Why you couldn't get Joe Morton to be Silas Stone? Why you can't get Papa Pope?
Why couldn't we get Papa Pope? He was incredible. He did an amazing job as Silas. Now, mind you, the cat that played Silas in here, what's his name again?
Phil Morris.
Phil Morris. Phil Morris did an excellent job.
Yeah. I just saw him recently on the old episode of Martin. He was Mr. Bozak. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you.
No, exactly. But I felt the same way about it watching, Grant Gustin.
Versus Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
You know, where I still love everything that Ezra Miller brought to it, but I had been like watching Grant now for a couple years, so I just felt some type of way. It's the same thing here. I like watching Papa Pope kill it in the Justice League movie, but then not to bring him over, which I felt would have been like a nice little fan service to do that, as well as give an opportunity. Now, mind you, I know he's super busy, like what he's on God Friended Me.
Yeah.
And like he's got other projects in the works.
Shouts out to the homie Brandon Michael Hall.
Oh, dope. And my homegirl Javicia holding it down also on God Friended Me. That's what's up. But that's all. It was just very interesting. I get thrown off seeing this double casting constantly happen one way or the other. It's obviously one is TV, one is film. They don't always coincide like that, but I don't know.
Well, let's not hold on Cyborg too long because there are many more elements to this. This is your first time seeing it. What are your thoughts on Robot Man? And the fact that Brendan Fraser is the voice, but the voice, as I said before in the pilot review, if you saw it, the voice matches up perfectly with every emotion you see.
Oh, it's absolutely phenomenal.
So what do you think about it?
Oh, I thought it was phenomenal, man. It makes me wonder because everybody's been asking where Brendan Fraser has been for a while. Like, you know, he's popping off in the Mummy movies and stuff. And he was in Crash, wasn't
he? Yeah, but I think his body, so I addressed this too. Like, they say his body had broke down for all the action and stuff, so he couldn't work out as much. Because if you haven't seen the first episode where 5 minutes into the show, you get to see Brendan Fraser's ass because he's fucking the babysitter and you see titties flopping. I was like, we are going for it.
Wait a minute. I missed the titties flopping?
I'll show you the titties when we get done with this.
I'm going to have to watch the pilot. That's fine.
No, I'm just going to show you the first 5 minutes. You don't need to see the whole pilot.
That's all I need.
But you think it was dope.
I've always felt that he's been a really good actor. One of my favorite 90s comedies was Bedazzled. That movie was absolutely ridiculous. Him and Elizabeth Hurley.
I love that movie.
That's one of my favorite movies by far. So it's great to see him back doing stuff, and that's the reason why I like him. His voice has always been very emotive. Like, I actually rewatched the Mummy, the first two Mummy movies. And I just remember that, one of the things that always brought it was his facial expressions and his voice. And so it's good to see that we can at least get that as the element for Robot Man.
No doubt. It's just different elements of this show that I do like. One of the biggest things for me, and I said it before and I will say it again, Diane Guerrero as Crazy Jane is amazing. When she has the meltdown after they bring her back and she's just going through personality to personality, it's just I love the way she can change the dialogue. Yes, a lot of them sound the same, but the energy they bring is different. You know what I'm saying? And when she starts fighting Brendan Fraser's character and tells him, "You're so fucked," and it turns into blades, I'm watching his face like, yo, what the fuck?
Well, that's where the Scott Pilgrim reference came from for me. It's having that kind of otherworldly, comic element come to life.
Yeah.
That shit is what, to me, makes the show so unique. And it's funny, when I was watching it, I enjoyed Titans and what DC Universe did with Titans, but this is what I expected Titans would be more like, was because of being raised off Teen Titans and seeing Teen Titans go. I thought there would be a serious element, but that it would be more of that kind of playful whimsy while being serious because it's live action. You know
I got exactly where you're coming from.
So I'm glad to see that a show is actually doing that with Doom Patrol. And I'll be honest, I comic books all motherfucking day, and I could go on and on about Black Panther, I can go on and on about X-Men, I can go on and on about Batman, Nightwing, all that shit. I don't know a lot about the Doom Patrol, so what I do appreciate, even with coming into the second episode, that they're doing a really good job of character building.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They're doing an amazing job of doing that. I'm getting a very real sense of each individual character. I don't want to jump ahead in the story where we're talking about this, but I appreciate, with Rita, every element of her being I'm a Golden Globe winning actress, goddamn her, nominee. And even her moments in her dressing room at the end of the episode and whatnot. I really felt that they're taking the meticulous time to make sure we know who each of these people are.
And that's the thing. I don't want to break down scene by scene and everything about the episode. I do want to get into the characters because that's what brings this show to life. There are different things that happen. The finding out the donkey is a door. And, you know, that's one thing with this show, first of all. The jokes are through the roof.
Yeah.
The jokes are through the roof. The humor is all the way there. I did say before I thought it was edgy for the sake of being edgy, but it seems like it cut down a bit in this episode. Like, there wasn't a lot of just, for lack of better words, fuck all over the place.
Yeah.
Because in the pilot, what you haven't seen is everywhere. And I'm like, yo, did you just write it in the script to say, hey, we can say it here?
Right.
Because sometimes it's not needed. And they did that well. When Robot Man called Cyborg, you little punk ass robot twink, I cried.
Bro,
I cry. Like the humor in this is always a great thing. And when Robot Man tries to give Jane a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, because he remembers his dog.
She goes, what? 6 of us.
She says
6 are gluten free.
She says
12 are allergic to peanuts, and none of us are your motherfucking daughter. That shit was fire. That's what I appreciate.
It says 3 of us actually are gluten free.
It was 3.
I think it was 3. Was it 6?
I thought it was 6, 12, and none of us are your daughter.
Okay, probably was. He's right. I probably wrote that wrong.
It's
right.
fine. It's fine.
I mean,
what I will give credit for again. Please excuse me. I'm really bad with like actors and actresses. The girl that plays Crazy Jane,
Diane Guerrero. I give her props on level with like James McAvoy and what he did in Glass and
Split. Like the fact that to really separate out like that, like from anybody that, Jay acts, I act, like I know a lot of people that do, to get into one character is already hard enough. To flip them on a motherfucking dime like that, she needs to be absolutely commended for this. And it might be one of those situations where, like you saw a couple years ago, Idris Elba got a nomination for an Oscar for Beast with No Nation. Mm-hmm. That this might be a situation where she might end up with like an Emmy and Golden Globe nomination if she keeps this level of acting up.
I just hope people pay attention. I agree that she can get it. I just hope people pay attention to it, those in the voting board and the nomination board for that. Also, but you can't miss out on April Balby, like you said, her playing Rita Farr.
Right.
Matt Bomer, who is Negative Man. The fact when he keeps trying to run away and leave, the negative energy in him.
God.
Had that mug just fall flat and then plap.
Yo, wait a minute, hold up. How about the fact that when Crazy Jane was chasing Cyborg, my nigga hopped over the banister and did a dance move on the way out. He did like a full spin before he ran off.
Ouch!
He said, ah. Almost like he was trying to pull like a spin move on a football field as he like went though, but he did it with like, it's
that
just
motherfucker like, yo, let me do this. You ain't nobody chasing you, Herschel. You thought this was.
But that is what I'm kind of getting at that I love about this show so far.
Also, towards the end, like you said, there's a bit of spoilers. You find out that Silas Stone is still the same Silas Stone that we say that shit 3 times fast. Silas Stone is still the same Silas Stone that we've always known about through the comics. He does not really care about his son.
Right.
He cares about the science and the tech of his son.
Or the fame because he talks about all the time. If you keep this up, you can Cyborg says it to the chief. My dad says if I do this for a few years, if I play the hero, I can join the Justice League. Like, it's not to say that Vic doesn't want to, but it's very clear that this is not necessarily about him. And that to me was the most beautiful element painted throughout this. Is you see this young kid who is on this path to become this superhero, right? Mm-hmm. And there's kind of like the teenager side of him that's like enjoying it and the fame and like, yeah, I'm Cyborg, that's what people call me, blah, blah, blah. But you notice when he gets into this like other dimension, and he's being attacked by nobody, and like through his memories, and he goes, "No, this is my pact I did for my mom since she couldn't be here. That's what I say. That's my burden I carry." And nobody goes, "Nah. What you don't realize, nigga, is that this is your programming. This is not your wants. This is not your dreams. This is your programming." And while he does that, his voice is inside an embodiment of Silas as Silas picks him apart to make him Cyborg.
It makes him realize that, yeah.
And when he gets back to the real world, his dad goes, "We do this every day for your mom. This is the burden that we carry." So you realize that nobody actually had something there. That this programming is really coming from his dad. This is not necessarily his own dreams and wants. And I think that that's a beautiful setup already about the relationship between Silas and Vic, about what is really going on here. Is Cyborg real? Like a lot of the best storylines I remember from the Teen Titans show is the ones where, you know, Cyborg is having that realization of like, am I still human? What am I, a robot? Like, what am I really at this point? And I love that they're already going there with him.
And that ties into the whole dead in his arms, dead in his arms. When Jane is having the meltdown, she keeps talking dead in his arms. And Robot Man's like, who, the chief? But then later we see, I think it's the Hangman's daughter, somebody, one of the personalities is painting, and you see Cyborg holding somebody dead in his arms. And if you look closely, it's his father.
It looks exactly like that.
So to wrap it all the way up as a whole, as somebody who just got a chance to come in on the second episode, what if you gave this a rating 1 to 5, what would you give it?
Shit, coming in fresh like that, I gotta give it a solid 4. If I give it 4.5, I would do that, man. Like, it's a very well done show. You have lots of amazing references, like the fact that they were like, there was a robber at one point. It's like, you want a couple bucks? You want to be rich? You want to be Bruce Wayne rich? Like stuff like that. I thought that was brilliant little touches to tie things together, to keep you laughing. So I would definitely recommend it to anybody that's looking to get into Doom Patrol.
Same thing here. Like I said, I wanted the episodes to grow on me from the pilot, and it has. It has. The whole being meta situation, I get it now. When you see... You see nobody talking to the chief. Chief's like, who you talking to? He said, oh, Grant Morrison fans, DC subscribers, Reddit people, and 3 people who stayed after the donkey fart. But I do rock with it. I give it a 4.5 still, man. So, Winston, first and foremost, I appreciate you, man. Let the people know how they can reach you if they want to get in touch with you.
All social media at the Swaggy Blerd.
Can you spell that for people?
Yeah, of course. TheSwaggyBlerd.
All right. And as always, you can find me Twitter, Instagram at Mr. J Washington, MRJAY. You should know how to spell Washington. Join the Supervillain Squad on Patreon, man. Patreon.com/Mr. J Washington. I got a lot of content that I don't put on the regular podcast. I have thoughts about something that's like, you know what? These are exclusive thoughts, and members of the squad get it, and I want you to get it as well. Also, check out the Mad Titan podcast on everywhere you get your podcast listen on. They get you caught up on everything happening in the Marvel and DC live action cinematic universes. If they got a cape, cowl, mask, that's what we're talking about. It's barbershop talk for nerds, so I want you to be involved with it. Thank you again, Winston Marshall, for rapping with your boy on this, and I will holler at you guys later. Take care. I'm out of here. Peace.